Welcome back to the Sibling Group Chat. I'm Owen.
And I'm Cassidy.
And today we are back at it with the Odyssey review, episode 29 Family Vacation.
Yes, this is a two-part episode. These were episodes 31 and 32 of Adventures in Odyssey, and they originally aired on June 18th and 25th, 1988. And these are our first episodes from Album 2, which is now called The Wildest Summer Ever. However, it was originally released in 1988, titled Grins, Grabbers, and Great Getaways. Then in 2003, it was re-released as part of the Golden Audio series as Stormy Weather, which is the one we have. And then in 2011, it was re-released as The Wildest Summer Ever. So this album has been through some iterations over time, but I feel like The Wildest Summer Ever is probably a good title for it. So yeah, but anyway, in this episode, the Barclay family of 4 takes off for a Florida vacation, but they get stranded when the family car breaks down, and our theme is family togetherness.
Yeah, it's really nice to have the Barclays here. It feels right.
Yep, we finally, Barclays are here, we'll have them for quite some time, and, the Barclays have been favorites of ours for, ever. Probably because we have the family similarities, they have 2 kids, and then Stuart, but, and then us, Donna's older, I'm older. It's just, there's a lot of similarities, and I think the Barclay family episodes are some of our favorites.
For sure. So yeah, I guess just hopping into the episode then, Chris basically just intros telling us that the Barclay family is going on vacation and that Jimmy Barclay is going to be keeping a journal. She intros it like she has been basically every other episode, so basically it's like nothing to make you think that it's any different than any of the other random kids and or families that we've had so far.
Yeah.
I will say is this our maybe only second? Well, I guess, no, never mind. I was going to say we don't have Mr. Whitaker, but he is briefly in the episode.
He is here, yeah.
But it is an episode that takes place mostly outside of even the town of Odyssey, which is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's true. According to the official Adventures in Odyssey guide, they asked fans what would be a good place for someone to go on a vacation, and Florida won out. So, and then they don't.
And yet, it's not even made for part of the episode.
It's not even there. Yeah.
They're like, we hear you, and that's where they were going. We just didn't want to set the episode there.
And it's where they did go. You just don't get to hear about it.
It's true. But yeah, so Jimmy Barclay was supposed to be keeping a diary for the summer because he was that was like their summer school assignment, basically. Like, sometimes you might have a reading list. Jimmy has keep a diary, but Jimmy thinks keeping a diary is for girls, so he's going to keep a journal, which, to be completely honest, I would agree with him. I feel like boys journal more than diary.
I hate to burst his bubble. In the way he's using it, there's no difference, but if he feels better about it being a journal, then I'm happy for him.
There is that. I was thinking more just like a name
Diary
difference.
seems to be more of a feminine word. So.
Yes. So the first thing that he journals about is honestly we hop right into the Barclays family dynamic. Donna calls him Runt within like 2 seconds.
Her first line is literally, "Be quiet, Runt."
But yeah, so he says that the first thing that happened was Donna getting mad at him for telling her that she needed to go pack for vacation.
Yeah, and can I just say, they're babies. Their voices, they're so young.
Has Donna's voice been used in any other episodes? Like, I know Dave Griffin voiced other characters before this.
Yeah, she was in our last episode, Honor Thy Parents, which is the last episode. So this is her first episode that's stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Donna says she's 12, which, I don't know, I feel like she doesn't act, I would say she's 12, but I feel like in this episode she doesn't act 12.
I feel like she acts more like a 9 or a 10-year-old almost.
Then how old do you think Jimmy is?
That's true, though. Like, Jimmy acts kind of like a probably 8, 9-year-old maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we find out in Peace on Earth that Donna is 2 or 3 years older. I can't remember. But their dad says
Okay.
it, but I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 years. So he's either 9 or 10. Yeah.
It seems to fit. I don't think that Donna necessarily acts any older or younger than 12. It's just that her voice is maybe still sounds a little younger than 12.
Yeah, and I feel like some of the tantrums we get from her throughout this episode, I suppose you could call them, just they don't seem. I mean, but 12 is like almost teenager. That's when the drama starts. So,
Yeah.
For
sure. I did find it interesting, and I noted this at the very end of the episode, but since we're talking about Jimmy and Donna, I might as well mention it now. It is interesting that while Jimmy is narrating / like the main character in the episode, it is Donna who's the lesson in the episode is about or through Donna.
That is true.
I just thought that was a little interesting.
Yeah, and I also think it's interesting that, Donna is very obviously learning a lesson in these episodes. However, they don't claim that as the theme of the episode. They say the theme is family togetherness, but Donna learns more of a lesson of contentment, I guess you could say.
Yeah, something like that.
And
I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Jimmy narrates, Donna learns a lesson. But I think it's kind of funny that, Jimmy is the one telling us Donna learned a lesson. He's like, I was completely fine, but my older sister, boy, did she have some problems.
Yeah. But so, anyway, Mrs. Barclay, voice number 1.
I believe she
basically-
ends up having 4.
4, really? I was
Yeah.
thinking 3, but
I think I was skimming through the guide before, and I think it was 4. But yeah, this
Okay.
one becomes Connie's mom. So
yes. But she calls down and tells Donna and Jimmy to go pack. And so Jimmy goes to pack, and he talks about how she used to pack for them, and it took her only half an hour, and now it takes him almost all night. We find out it takes him almost all night because when he initially packs, he does not pack any clothes.
did you write down everything he packs?
I did not write down everything, but he has comic books, army boots, the Overlords of Space laser blaster. That's all I had, but I believe there's also a couple model cars, a baseball glove,
Piggy
maybe
bank.
one other thing. A what?
A piggy bank.
Piggy bank, yes.
A yo-yo, and a cassette player and tapes, which I
Okay.
find interesting because Donna is the only one who ever uses her cassette player afterwards, so I wonder if Jimmy ended up leaving his at home.
I can say I don't think he brought it. It
Yeah.
would seem anyway.
Yeah. He had to take half of that stuff out just for some clean clothes and shirts that make his skin itch.
She made him take out most of the good stuff too.
I like when he says that he's wearing the clothes he wants to wear, and she's like, yes, I know, and someday I'll peel them off of you and give them a decent burial.
Yeah.
But if we know anything from you, young boys just go through phases where this is the clothes they like, and if it's clean, it's what they're gonna wear.
I never wore the same clothes multiple days in a row, though.
No, but if it's clean, it's what you're gonna wear.
That's true. Yeah, our mom had to stop. Back when I didn't do my own laundry, I had to stop putting clean clothes back in my room until a few days later after I'd worn other shirts because I would just wear the same 2 or 3 shirts repeatedly if they were at my disposal.
Yep.
So yeah, I can relate to Jimmy there. Jimmy, I understand. Those are the clothes he wants to wear.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He said
he
it takes him 3 more tries before it passes the inspection, and then he
Yep.
gets to go to Wit's End. But I was curious, or maybe just I don't know. Jimmy, it makes it from the way Jimmy talks, it took him until very late to get his packing done. But then he still goes to Wit's End, which makes it indicate that it's at the very latest early evening.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably what it is, because if you think about all the stuff that happens when he gets back home, they work on the car and they go to bed early.
Yeah,
So
that's what
yeah, it makes it
the way
seem
Jimmy
like it's
talks,
really
it makes it
late.
seem like they didn't finish packing until 8:30 or 9.
Yeah,
But the way the action happens is he probably finished packing at 4:30.
yeah. I think it's funny when he goes to Wit's End, just the way he says, "Everybody was there."
Yeah, I noticed that I knew he said that. Obviously, I know this episode pretty well. It just struck me this time He says everyone was there and proceeds to interact with nobody except for Mr. Whitaker.
I think that's probably just them not feeling the need to bring in other actors for this one
Probably.
scene.
I just
But,
think it's
yeah.
funny. There's like
Everybody
everybody
was there.
was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets a sundae, and then he's talking to Mr. Whitaker, and Mr. Whitaker gives him a present, but he can't open it yet. This is Wit's Boredom Buster, and he can only open it when he's, without a doubt, no question about. I didn't write down exactly, but it's like without a doubt, no question about it, as bored as he's ever been in his life.
Yep. I like how Mr. Whitaker just knows that one of them is going to get the most bored they've ever been in their life on this trip.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Wit says if he's gonna open it early, then he'll have to give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'd just like to say, like, was Wit gonna just like appear if they like if Jimmy had walked out the door, opened it immediately, would Wit have been like, oh nope, you're not bored yet?
I feel like he would.
Yeah.
Or like Jimmy's conscience would appear in the form of Mr. Whitaker. Yeah. Do you feel like with like Jimmy's interaction at Wit's End, and then later we have Donna calling all of her friends, they're setting this up like they were leaving forever, or at least for the entire summer. Like
maybe for the entire summer. I don't think forever.
Not forever, but like I don't know if these kids have not been on a big family vacation before, but it just seems like a really big deal.
Yeah, a little bit. Also, if like based on how dramatic Donna is about being bored the rest of the episode, it would check out that she also was dramatic about leaving her friends for a few weeks.
Donna's just kind of dramatic in general.
Yeah.
12-year-olds.
Honestly. Yeah, so when Jimmy gets home from Wit's End, Donna is on the phone, and Mr. Barclay is trying to fix the car. He apparently, whenever something needs fixed, which it doesn't appear like, he's maybe not trying to fix the car. He's like tuning up the car, making sure everything is working well, because it sounds like the car wasn't like messed up. He messed it up,
yeah,
but not majorly.
He's also checking it out with a do-it-yourself kit.
Yeah, it
for
seems
your
like
car. Is that a thing?
I don't know. You want me to find out?
I don't know.
I got this. I'm gonna Google do-it-yourself car repair and see what comes up.
It'll just be videos on how to repair your car. While you're looking that up, it's worth noting that at this time, George Barclay is not being voiced by Chuck Bolte. He'll be here in the next Barclay appearance.
Yeah, I did note that. It's still a great episode, regardless of the fact that Mr. Barclay is not Mr. Barclay yet.
Yeah.
The top result for shopping is windshield repair starter kit.
So, I guess it's kind of a thing.
AI says that do-it-yourself car repair kits contain collections of tools and sometimes parts for basic maintenance. So apparently it's somewhat a thing.
Okay. I'll buy that. I mean, I'm not buying it, but I'll accept that.
You wouldn't be able to use it.
No. Neither would you.
I feel like I could probably make it work better than you could.
Probably.
Anyway, back to my notes here.
So yeah, George is fixing the car. Mary comes to check on him because he's known for not being very good at fixing the car.
He apparently tried to do-it-yourself plumbing kit once, and it didn't go well. I don't remember what they
turn
said.
the shower on, the toilet backs up.
Yeah.
Does she? And she says it like this still happens, doesn't she?
Maybe, I don't know.
So do they not shower in that bathroom?
Maybe just, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. But so he decides to start the car to prove that he knows what he's doing. And so he tries to start the car and the radio turns on. Mm-hmm. And then I don't even remember, what does he do to end up getting the car to actually start?
Well, he turns the radio, I think he ends up turning on the radio, which turned on the horn. So he hit the horn and that turned on the car. I can't remember how many chain things.
Which I want to know, regardless of whatever he was trying to do himself, how did he rewire the inner workings of the car?
Again, I don't know how to do it correctly. Don't ask me how to do it incorrectly.
I feel like that's not something that should have accidentally happened if you were, like, presumably, like, checking the oil or making sure, like...
Yeah, it was that he was checking spark plugs.
Yeah, spark. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thought spark plugs and the wires that connected the radio to other parts of the car were the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is
We
kind of
honestly, we don't know enough about auto repair
no,
to know how this would happen.
no. And I feel like this is like a cliche almost kind of repair thing where somebody's fixing something and it ends up turning the wrong thing.
Yeah. But regardless, Jimmy tells us that they get the car mostly fixed. The only problem is that you have to hit the lighter to turn on the windshield wipers.
Yeah. Do you have any did you listen to the radio at all? Did you pay
No, I
attention to
didn't.
that?
I mean, I heard it, but I didn't.
Yeah. It's Dave Arnold's voice. And he goes through the weather and a few other things. I couldn't catch it all, but at one point he says that coming up in a few minutes is the Focus on the Family broadcast with Dr. James Dobson.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, like, and I feel like there's probably more than that we even get told about. Like, if you listen really closely, how many times they put in random, like, background
Sound
stuff that
yeah.
actually means something.
Yeah, because I mean, for it to sound real, you need that kind of real stuff in the background, but it's an easy detail to overlook. Yeah.
Yeah, so then Jimmy says that they had to go to bed early that night because they had to get up early, and I didn't like that very much.
But the line right after that makes no sense to me. In
It's
the
so
summer,
funny, like,
you're supposed to be able to stay up late and eat popcorn and drink Cokes. Can you not do those things any other time?
no, only in the summer.
Like you can only eat popcorn and drink Coke after 8 p.m.
Yep.
Like I don't know. It's like it feels very like little kid passion, but it's so funny and random.
Yeah.
And then after that, he says, "Anyway, I finally fell asleep and we woke up." Like
Yeah.
one stream, no period. Anyway, I finally fell asleep and we woke up early.
But see, I feel like that's like when it's when it's not dialogue between characters, that's just how Jimmy literally is writing in his journal.
That's true. It's really showing how like a little boy would write all these things.
Yeah.
But I just think it's the lack of period is really funny to me.
I think it's funny that in the morning when they wake up, Mr. Barclay, I assume Mr. Barclay, is playing Reveille on like a tape or something.
Yeah.
Time to like get up or whatever, and says they're already 20 minutes behind schedule. Why was he not playing the Reveille at the time that would put them on schedule?
Because he's also behind schedule. He woke up.
I guess that.
He didn't get the tape in time.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to the night before say, "Alexa, play Reveille at 6:30 tomorrow morning."
Yeah, that's fair. But so yeah, they get up. Jimmy's supposed to be checking faucets. Donna's still on the phone. She presumably went to bed, I assume, but she's back on the phone.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Oh, and then Mr. Barclay he's trying to fight his briefcase because he wants to take a little bit of work with him. Mrs. Barclay said, "I thought you weren't going to bring any work on this trip." And he says, "I didn't say I wasn't going to bring any work. I said I wasn't going to bring a lot of work." And then she convinces him that there's no reason why he should take some work because if he's going to take work, she might as well take work. And then there would be no point in vacation. And at this point, Donna has got off the phone because she's present and says, "She's right. There's no point in going."
Donna's like, I mean, if that's an option.
Yeah.
I also want to say,
yeah.
Or I would say, I get the point they're trying to make with like trying to have family together time, but if this episode was not the first Barclay family episode, I think they would have replaced the briefcase with the book he never reads but always brings on vacation.
The one you brought last vacation and never read?
Didn't you buy that book on our honeymoon, George?
Yeah. That'll be on the next... There's like 3 vacations. 4 if you count Aloha away. Barclay's gone on vacation a lot.
Yeah. Yep. That's the ski vacation.
Not really a lot. It's just... I feel like they're the only ones who get vacation episodes, I guess.
Yeah. I think the staycation is their next vacation, and then the ski vacation. Yeah.
The snow one's like a winter break kind of trip, I think.
It's around the same time as Christmassy episodes, but there's something Christmas about it, so it's...
Yeah.
I don't know. I just listened to that one yesterday.
It'd be like the second week of Christmas break or something like that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so they do get on the road 52 minutes late, which is a record for them.
Yeah. Kind of makes me feel better when our we're normally out of 10.
No, wasn't it
Late.
this last summer that we were ready early?
Surely not.
No, I think it was. No, maybe
I
it
don't
wasn't.
know.
You were waiting. No, wait, we went on 2 trips last summer. I'm pretty sure one of them that we were ready early. We were like, "What's going on? This isn't how this is supposed to work."
Maybe, but I do know the one where you guys had to come pick me up. You were not ready early, so.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
we generally are behind schedule too.
But not 52 minutes.
No, not 52 minutes. Maybe 20 minutes tops. But we also generally leave ourselves plenty of time to be
Yeah.
somewhat behind.
Yeah.
Plus, our dad kind of drives really fast, so.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we get back on the road, and Jimmy is apologizing to his journal that his handwriting is bumpy. So is Jimmy just constantly writing this entire time?
Yeah. It's he has it open at all times.
Yeah. It's just floating beside him while he's doing other things, and he pulls it down, writes, continues.
Yeah.
He's really taking this assignment to heart.
I will say there is a transition that basically fast forwards 20 minutes because they are 20 minutes down the road when we find them down the road. And Jimmy is apparently. This is one of those another thing, like you said, that makes you think they've maybe never been on a vacation before because Jimmy starts complaining about asking if they're almost there, he's tired of being in the car. He says he's getting car fever, and then Mr. Barclay says,
"Car fever. The walls are closing in."
"We only left 20 minutes ago."
I know. I like the way they did that, where they have all this dramatic stuff, and then you find out it's only been 20 minutes.
Because like I said, there's a transition music thing. Which makes you think you don't really actually know how long they've the way Jimmy's talking maybe they had been on the road for 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
But no, it's been 20 minutes.
And
then Jimmy hammers home the point of boredom because he starts bugging his sister. Which I guess never mind. You don't have to be bored to bug your sister. I take that back. That's
it's just
what
on
you
the
do
to-do
on
list.
car rides.
Yeah.
I would know.
We quote these exact lines to each other on car trips.
Because
so.
Jimmy taps Donna. She says he hits her. And then they start to argue about who's in whose space, whose stuff is in what space. And then their parents try to intervene, tell them to figure it out. And then we get the Jimmy.
See,
Jimmy
said a
said,
line, and you just keep coming across it.
"You just take up too much room." Yes, we do quote that. That, and then in the snow vacation, they have a backseat argument again that we quote quite often.
It's an entire car argument.
That's true. It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's
to pull that one out.
Ouch, Dad, Jimmy kicked me. Did not, did do, did not, did do.
Yeah. That's not this
Yes.
episode, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So to keep moving on, as Mr. Barclay is telling them to figure it out because it's going to be a long car ride, they hit something in the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say they do definitely dramatize this because they go to what would be a commercial break after they hit something, which is oh no, what happened to the Barclay family? Then we come back, they pull over to the side of the road. Mr. Barclay goes to check on it. While they check on it, they fantasize about what it could have been. Was it an animal?
Felt like a cow.
Yeah, it's too small to be a cow.
A
little cow? Don't they make little cows?
Little cows?
Donna's freaking out they killed somebody's pet, and she's also using this as a reason why if they killed somebody's pet, it's just proof that they shouldn't have been on this vacation in the first place.
Yep. She's nothing if not consistent.
Yes. Then Mr. Barclay gets back. Jimmy was it gross, Dad?
Donna's the least we could do is bury it.
And Mr. Barclay responds, "I suppose we could, but why would we bury a piece of tire rubber?"
Tire rubber? That's all? That's all. Can we go now, or do I need to notify the next of kin?
Let's go.
Classic.
Yes. So yeah, they keep going. Is this where we get the little? I think they stopped before we they stopped for lunch, and then we resume the car ride activities, which includes singing praise songs from church, which they did for a while, and Jimmy says, that was fun at first.
At first.
But after an hour, to which we hear Mrs. Barclay singing, I've got the joy, joy down in my heart, and to no response.
Yeah.
This is when she says, I can take a hint, we're tired of singing, to which Mr. Barclay responds, I think everyone was tired about 17 songs ago, dear.
I like that he was count. I mean, that's a dad thing to say. You don't know it's exactly 17, but I could see him sitting there counting how much longer she kept singing.
To be fair, how short were those songs? Like, if you could sing 17 songs, like, you're tired 17 songs ago, and you were only doing it for roughly an hour,
Yeah,
that'd be some short songs.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Jimmy says they're singing praise songs from church, but when she's singing out the joy down in my heart, I feel like they're singing like kids' Sunday school songs, so those aren't super long.
That's true. Then I think it's once they stop singing that Donna's cassette player runs out of battery, and she's immediately like plagued with boredom as soon as her cassette dies.
I know. Which I kind of understand, but at the same time, she's been sitting there doing nothing, just listening to music.
Yeah.
But I guess there's nothing to occupy her brain. But I like it, Mr. Barkley goes, maybe we could ride quietly for a while. Hey! Such a dad line.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Donna's basically flipping out because she's bored.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's like, I don't see why you get like this.
Yeah, that line I was like, what do you mean by that?
I guess this is normal for her. I don't know.
I guess I don't know. Is it the fact that she's bored, or the fact that she's being dramatic, or like I'm just curious what exactly he meant by it. But regardless, they pass this random dude on the side of the road, to which Jimmy thinks they should pick him up because he obviously needs a ride. And Mr. Barclay's in the middle of responding that you can't just pick up people, and he wouldn't expect anyone to pick them up if their car died, to which their car responds by dying.
Yeah. He does manage to ease over to the side, so that's good.
Then he gets out to check out under the hood. He unscrews the radiator cap, and then the ominous music starts. And that was the end of part 1.
Well, the ominous music starts because he's messing with the radiator cap, which he probably shouldn't be doing, while the man is walking up, and Donna's convinced this man is an axe murderer, whatever that is. And
I think it's someone who murders people.
With an axe?
With an axe.
Yeah. And puts them in a freezer with plastic sandwich bags.
I think she says that line in part 2, but
maybe it is. But yeah, so we have all this stuff happening, ominous music, and cut. And did you happen to notice how long episode 1 was?
It was short. It was 18 and a half minutes, I think.
18 minutes, 6 seconds.
Oh, okay. And then part 2 is like 23 minutes or something like that.
I think it was like 21 minutes. So I feel like this was a situation where they weren't planning on it being a 2-parter, and it was just slightly too long. And rather than shorten it, they divided it.
That could be. Because I guess if you add that together, that's about 40 minutes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is quite a bit over.
That's at least, that's like 15 minutes over.
Yeah. So maybe it was intentional, but I don't know. The first one is quite short, so.
I don't know. I feel like it would be close to being either they intended it or it was too long. Like, it's kind of right in that maybe gray area.
Yeah. And with, commercial breaks, advertisements, it's whatever.
But yeah, so that's the end of part 1. Part 2 starts with the stranger coming up and telling Mr. Barclay that you should never take the cap off the radiator while it's hot.
Yeah, oh yeah, because hot water came up.
Yeah.
Almost getting Mr. Barclay. He didn't say
that. But he checks out the car. He apparently does know something about cars, at least quite a bit more than Mr. Barclay.
Mm-hmm. Well, we find out later he owns a service station. So.
Yes. He concludes that it's the fuel pump that's the problem. Mm-hmm. And so him and Mr. Barclay walk to the service station, which is owned by this guy, who we find out his name is Chester. He's voiced by
Bernard.
Yes. This is the
Oh.
second episode in a row with Dave Madden. And
yeah.
Yeah,
and I don't think he comes back until he becomes
I don't know
Bernard.
that he comes back until Bernard gets here, but
Yeah. I will say before they leave, he tells George asks like how long it is. He's like, 4 or 5 miles, and he's like, Think somebody will pick us up, which is right after he said he wouldn't expect anyone to pick him up. And Chester goes, you never know what kind of lunatic will pick you up.
Yeah. Yeah, so they walk back. He has a tow truck at his service station. They come back, get presumably only the Barclays car. Maybe they get both. I don't know. I kind of got the impression they only got the Barclays car.
I don't know.
They take it back to the station. He calls a friend of his who can get him a car part. He can't get it till Monday. Jimmy fills us in that they also talked about somebody's cow having a baby, but
Yeah. And someone else's barn getting painted or something like that.
something like that. Yeah, very very Midwestern random phone call though. I would say.
Yep. Small town. I probably had this conversation at church today.
I doubt it.
Or I heard this conversation.
That I would believe.
Yeah. The conversation was had at church today.
I'm sure it was.
Actually, everyone's talking about harvest. It's not calving season, it's harvest season.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chester tells, well, they actually ask, or Mrs. Barclay tells Chester that they probably would have stopped anyway, but did I mention, the fuel pump wasn't going to be there till Monday, did we say that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. But Chester's like, oh, there's no motel for 20 miles. And he says, well, you know what might work better is if you just came and stayed with us. And Donna is still convinced that he is an axe murderer.
Yeah.
So the Barclays kind of talk it over. Chester goes to call his wife, talk to her. Mr. Barclay goes, he's either extremely generous or up to something.
Something? I need to use that line more often.
Or up to something, or the whole thing.
Is either extremely generous or up to something.
Yeah. But so Mr. Barclay throws up a quick prayer, says, what do you think we should do, Lord? Give me a sign.
To which Chester comes right back and tells him that his wife's making food for the church picnic tomorrow.
How's that for a sign?
For a clue.
Clue? Is that what the line is? I thought it was a sign.
I think it's a clue.
Regardless,
Sign.
they're convinced, and Donna is also convinced that he's not an axe murderer, according to Jimmy, because food was mentioned.
I like, throughout this episode, they're subtly, like, throwing hints that Donna eats a lot.
Apparently, yeah, I didn't even note it earlier. Jimmy makes a joke about it earlier. When
Well,
they were
because-
arguing.
Well, her dad does too, because she says she's hungry,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he says, we just ate. And she says, but I'm hungry, and George
She
says,
said that
"Where
was
did
an
she put
hour
it?"
ago.
Where does she put it all? I could tell you. I was like, come now. We don't need to be talking like this. But then again, addictions can be habit forming.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I didn't really think about the fact that that's like a recurring thing throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Which is a little odd, but
Thankfully, I don't think we ever comment about Donna's eating again.
no, I don't think we do. But yeah, so they go back to Chester's house. Chester had 8 kids. Only one of them still lives there, but he had a big house. But I thought it was a little odd. He has 8 kids, 7 of which have moved out, the other of which is Jimmy's age. That's quite the age gap for the last kid, then.
Yeah, but think about, like, okay, so our grandparents have 6 kids, and there's a 7-year age gap between the last 2.
Yeah, but you got that. I mean, we determined that at the oldest Jimmy is 9 right now, right?
Yeah.
So it's like at least a 9-year age gap.
Yeah. I don't feel like that's totally... I mean, it's a little odd, but... I don't know. It's...
Regardless,
I feel like with
Ted-
big families, anything goes.
It's true. Ted is the name of Chester's son, who still lives with him.
And his wife's
So they
name is
come.
Grace.
The town of Hopwood.
Is it
in
Hopwood or
Chester's-
Hopwit?
I thought it was Hopwood.
I thought it was Hopwit.
Pretty sure it's Hopwood.
Let us know what is
It's Hopwood. You've been let
Well-
know.
I think it's Hopwit.
But anyway, back at Chester's house. What's Chester's wife's name?
Grace.
Yeah, Grace. I didn't write that down. Grace is cooking, I think, dinner when they get there. Maybe both dinner and church picnic stuff. I don't know. But she won't let Mrs. Barclay help, but she recruits Donna to peel some potatoes for her.
Yeah, and you
and
don't
then
need
they-
batteries to peel potatoes.
That's true. You don't. She sends Jimmy and Ted out to the porch to sweep the porch. And then, yeah, so they go sweep the porch, which, according to Jimmy, is almost as big as their backyard at home. Maybe not that big, but it sure seemed like it.
Yeah.
Once they're done, they can play on it, too.
I feel like this makes the Barclay kids seem like such city kids that he's shocked he can play on a porch. So maybe they were going
I think he was more shocked about how
phase.
big the porch was, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I suppose, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so once they're done, Jimmy asks Ted if he wants to play Space Aliens, which Ted is like, "Play what?
Yeah, Ted
That
voiced
doesn't
by
sound very
Oscar.
fun." Yes, it's Oscar. So then Ted tells Jimmy that him and his friends generally they play David a lot, and Jimmy's like, "From the Bible?"
Yeah. And then Ted goes off on this whole, like, telling him about how they fought the Amalekites at the Brook of Besor and all this. And I just have to say, do you think this is kind of obscure, even for a kid who knows a lot of Bible stories? Like, I know about David and his mighty men, but I couldn't tell you about the battle with the Amalekites at the Brook of Besor, except for
Well,
that
I
it's in
mean,
this
if
episode.
you were playing that with your friends, you might pay more attention to those.
Study it.
Like, I feel like he would probably read those specific stories in the Bible so that they could play them.
I suppose. I
In a
could
way
just
that
see
makes
Ted
sense.
out there
I'm also,
being
no
like,
offense, it's
"This
giving
is
off
not
major
how it happened."
homeschooler vibes.
Well, yeah. He's the youngest of 8 kids.
That's fair point.
In a small town and a house with a big porch. He's definitely homeschooled.
That's fair.
Can we just think what happens at church the next day? You can't tell me this isn't a community of homeschoolers.
Yeah, so I say, given what we're told about Hopwood, I don't think there's even a school in Hopwood anymore.
And we no hate to homeschoolers. I was one briefly. We know a lot of homeschoolers that are just fun to make fun of. We don't mean anything bad by it.
Very easily stereotyped.
Yes, and because stereotypes are true.
Yeah. So yeah, they do end up playing David, and they go out to Ted's hideout, which is described by Jimmy as the coolest hideout he's ever seen. They built it out of wood and covered it with bushes and stuff, so you couldn't see it unless you knew where it was. But then the Philistines attacked, so they had to fight the Philistines, which
I think
also
it's the
involved them
Amalekites.
getting in. No, it was the Philistines,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
because Ted comes back in and says a group of rogue Philistines attacked our house.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Jimmy had told us that they would have won, except Grace called us in for dinner.
Yeah. But apparently,
We defeat
fighting the
the
Philistines
Philistines.
entailed getting into the brook, stream, river, whatever it is right there.
Obviously, you cannot fight Philistines without getting wet. I can't believe you didn't know that.
Honestly. Apparently, this has been a problem for Ted because Grace says, "Ted, what have I told you about playing in the creek before dinner?"
I mean, those Philistines will get you. They'll come when you least expect it.
Yeah, but I think it's funny that after he says, "Sorry, Mama, a group of rogue Philistines attacked our house," he's like, "Oh, well, did you get rid of them?" Like, she doesn't care about the brook or the creek anymore. She's more
Yeah.
concerned about them getting rid of the Philistines.
Yeah, which is just nice, like, that she plays
Yeah.
along. But, like,
Uh-huh.
you can just tell that he just, like, he's always fighting the Philistines or the Amalekites or King Saul.
Yeah, so they go to get cleaned up, and Mrs. Barclay's like, "Oh, that's funny. I don't remember the last time Jimmy played in the woods back home."
Yeah.
And then
I
I
just,
think-
like, I'm just, like, waiting for Wonder World, which is several years from now, but...
Yeah. And I think it's about now, right there where Grace says she wonders where Chester and Mr. Barclay had wandered off to.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Barclay says that she saw them out by the garage and or barn looking at fishing poles. In which Grace says Chester's always looking for people to go fishing with him, and she thinks they'll probably go in the morning. Which Mrs. Barclay is like, "Oh, I don't think George likes that kind of thing." And then immediately George comes in and says, "Can I go fishing with Chester before church tomorrow?"
And it's giving, like, a kid asking his mom if he can go to the candy
Uh-huh.
store. Yeah. Like, "Oh, honey, eat churros."
Yeah. Great reference.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I think that's about all that happens that day. Jimmy sleeps in Ted's room that night, and they stay up so late talking that Ted's gonna split. Or Chester said he'd split them up if they didn't go to sleep. Then in the morning, Jimmy had told Ted that he wanted to help him milk the cow. So Ted wakes up Jimmy to milk the cow, and Jimmy says, "What's wrong?" Because it's so early. And Ted's like, "It's time to milk the cow." He's like, "You said you wanted to help milk the cow." He's like, "I do. In the morning."
Wake me up when it's morning. It is morning. And just,
Yes.
never mind. Let the cow milk herself.
It doesn't work like that.
I like how Ted is the concern. Like, he's like, does this kid seriously think cows? Like, Ted probably thinks that Jimmy is so dumb. Like, he doesn't know about David and his mighty men. He doesn't know that a cow can't milk itself.
Yeah, so they go milk the cow. Jimmy wakes up after Ted shoots him in the face with the milk. And then as they're coming back in, did they feed the chickens too?
I think they might have.
I think that got mentioned too. As they're coming in, Mr. Barclay and Chester are leaving to go fishing, and Mr. Barclay is as sleepy as Jimmy had been because Jimmy says, "Morning, Dad," and Mr. Barclay responds with no words, just a groan, I guess you'd call it.
A grunt, a
Yeah,
noise.
something like that. But anyway, Mr. Barclay and Chester didn't catch any fish, but they came back with stories, apparently. And then it was time to go to church. And before they get into Sunday school, Ted warns Jimmy that their teacher's a little different. And they find out what he means. Ted just says he likes them to feel like they're actually in the story. So they start the class first by one of the great lines of this as the teacher goes, "I see from my little card here that we have a visitor, Jimmy Barclay from Odessa."
That's Odyssey. Odyssey.
Right, Odessa.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess you could get that from that.
It's just
It's
nothing against the pronunciations or anything. It's just it's a fun line to quote.
Yeah, it's funny.
But so they're talking about Noah and the ark. So they brought in a bunch of animals, including 3 chickens, which was you're only supposed to have 2.
Yeah. I feel like
To simulate the story.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to an episode with Wooten teaching Sunday school? I don't know if you've got that far yet.
Yes. Yeah, I have one because there's one where he's Matthew and Olivia are competing to be his helper for Camp Whatanut or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I just feel like this reminds me of how Wooten teaches Sunday school. Like, Wooten would totally bring in all these animals into Sunday school.
It's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
He would. So yeah, the animals apparently cannot be wrangled in time because they also interrupt the service. It would seem that this is maybe not an uncommon occurrence, though, because Jimmy says the pastor is completely unfazed and keeps preaching.
Yeah.
But then it was time for the church picnic. There was food and games and all kinds of fun stuff. Jimmy, Ted, and Ted's buddies fight the Philistines at the church picnic.
Philistines
Naturally.
are just everywhere.
Yeah, they are. They really are. They probably heard there was a church picnic and they wanted some food.
Yeah, probably. They're just hungry. Feed
Yeah.
the poor Philistines.
Honestly. Yeah, Jimmy says everybody is having a great time except for Donna, who was apparently just like sitting under a tree or something. She's off by herself doing nothing. Mrs. Barclay talks to Donna, tries to get her to participate in the day. No luck. She tells Jimmy that she thinks Donna's a little bit homesick. Which is actually the first, like all her boredom is a little bit, like, crazy. When you start to think, like, homesick is a little more understandable.
Yeah.
As someone
I
who
feel
has, like, kind of been there at times.
Yeah, but I feel like homesick when you're with your parents is, like, not quite the right
That's true.
word.
Yeah. I don't think I ever had homesickness, except if it wasn't with my parents.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of the same thing. It's like she's town sick, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I think honestly, Mrs. Barclay is correct when she asks Donna why she's so determined to not have a good time, because I think that's honestly more of the problem. Is Donna is convinced that nothing would be as fun as if she was still in Odyssey, so she's not even trying to have fun.
That way, yeah.
Yeah. So after Jimmy and Mrs. Barclay compete in the egg tossing contest, Jimmy.
They did not win.
No, because Mrs. Barclay threw an egg too hard at Jimmy and hit him on the head. Which she said was an accident, and Jimmy didn't believe her. Jimmy brings the boredom buster to Donna.
Where did he get the boredom buster?
He brought it.
He's like, never know when boredom might strike.
I mean, it's altogether possible that he kept it like in a backpack or something that he
I
kept with
take
him.
my backpack to church.
Maybe, or maybe the church wasn't that far from Chester's house,
I don't
or
know.
maybe he was keeping it with him because he knew Donna was bored and figured she might need it at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like it's a little weird.
Why did you have to bring that up? Now I'm gonna wonder. Like that had never occurred to me.
Because it started bothering me while we've been talking, and so.
Well, now
I
it's
had
bothering me. It wouldn't have bothered me if you hadn't mentioned it.
Well, now we can be bothered together.
I don't want to be bothered. The episode was fine when I was unbothered. But regardless, Donna decides that she will try to figure it out. So she spends, I think Jimmy says, about an hour while other games and stuff is going on.
Yeah, well, and we find out there's just a thing on it that says, try to make this work. And that's all it says. It's like a box thing with like...
Yeah. So then after a while, Jimmy comes back to check on her, and just as he does, she finally gets it to turn on. And apparently it's a big puzzle box.
Yeah. I said it's a precursor to the fidget toy.
Yeah. Mr. Whitaker actually invented the little fidget, like, not the fidget spinner, but have you ever seen those, like, fidget cubes? They just have, like, random, like, switches and buttons and stuff on them.
Yeah.
That's what Mr. Whitaker, he invented a combination fidget cube, Rubik's Cube that lit up when you figured it out.
Mm-hmm. And had his voice because,
Yeah. And played the Odyssey theme because why not?
Yeah. So
I always think it's funny that the Odyssey theme exists within
Odyssey. Yeah.
Because, like, the other time I can think of off the top of my head is at the beginning of Bernard and Eugene's road trip when Bernard is by himself in his truck and he's flipping through radio channels. You hear the Odyssey theme before his radio turns off.
Yeah, that's true.
I just think it's funny that the Odyssey theme, like, exists within the Odyssey world.
Yeah.
But anyway, she figures it out, and all it says is, "Congratulations, you figured it out, and you weren't bored for the hour that it took you to figure it out." Basically, that was a paraphrase, but
Go be not bored.
Yeah, go do something else. And so at first Donna's like, well, that was silly. But then Mr. Barclay, who'd come over, was like, oh, you know, the box was right. Or Mr. Whitaker was right.
I think he said Whit was right, yeah.
Whit was right. Like, you weren't bored. And she's like, I figured it out, didn't I? And, like, she's in a great mood, and she participates the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Here's where she felt younger than 12. Because she goes, Daddy, I figured it out, didn't I?
Was that.
Are you fine?
I did think it was a little odd that she said it like that.
Yeah. Like, Daddy, I figured it out, didn't I? And he's like, yes, you did.
Good job.
You get a sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, so she participates in the final game of the day, which is tug of war. There's a mud pit in the middle of the tug of war, and she ends up in the mud. And everybody held their breath collectively.
Yes. Waiting for the tantrum.
Yes. But no, she actually didn't care, which honestly is kind of crazy considering not because of how she'd been the rest of the day, but because, like, Donna and getting messy, like, it doesn't match. Jimmy even says he'd always wanted to see his sister get good and messy just once.
Yeah, and I feel like that stays consistent throughout the show.
It does, for sure. Like, I feel like in the Camp Wadena episode later, when they're there, I feel like there's stuff that, like, Donna's... well, like, the whole episode is, like, Donna is complaining about looks-related things, while the... What's the...
Allison.
Is it Allison who's complaining about not having TV?
Yeah, and then there's the one where she wishes Jimmy would disappear, or, like, he's splashing her dress at the mud puddles.
Yeah,
and... Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, it basically starts a mud fight. And then that's kind of the end of the church picnic, so they head back to Chester's house, get cleaned up. Chester lets Donna call Wendy, who basically says that they've been bored in Odyssey.
Yeah, which Wendy never shows up again.
No. She probably, I don't know, maybe not. I'm going to say she could be someone that Donna calls again, I don't know.
I don't think so. The voice comes back, but not the name Wendy.
Yeah, so they're having to... Donna assures them that they're having a great time, rattles off all these things that they've been doing. Mind you, Donna didn't actually participate in most of them, but she says that they've been having a great time. That's about all that happens. The next morning, Chester gets the fuel pump put in pretty quick, which I would have to say it gives the impression that they end up leaving pretty early. But if the fuel pump wasn't going to get there until Monday, like whoever delivered this fuel pump was out early. If Chester got it on early,
I mean, these old timer Midwest farmer
I guess, yeah.
automotive part guys, I could just see him. Well, I was up early this morning, Chester. I just drove it out to you.
Yeah.
On my way to check so and so's cow.
Yeah, so anyway, they get on the road. Jimmy says that someday he'll write about the rest of the trip, but that was, as he was concerned, the best part of the trip. So really, it gives the impression that he maybe like finished like this last paragraph or so at the end of the trip, and that he hadn't written anything else after Hopwood about the trip.
Yeah. Which I would kind of be curious to know, not necessarily about their Florida trip, but like when they came back to Hopwood, because they had said they were going to come back on their way back to Odyssey.
Yeah, Jimmy says that Ted and his friends can't finish adding an addition onto their hideout until he gets back.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't impede their Philistine fighting capabilities too much.
Yeah. And as they're after they've been on the road for a little while, Donna realizes that she left her cassette player there, and it didn't really bother her anymore. So Donna has made a complete recovery from chronic boredom. And she didn't even need lemonade.
It's true. That's procrastination.
I'm sure it works for both though.
Probably.
I don't know. I just said chronic and it made me think of that.
Yeah.
Lemonade.
That's all you drink, I see.
Yeah, sorry. Off on a rabbit trail. We're good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris's outro is basically you get out of stuff what you put in. And like I said, like the lesson that Chris talks about at the end of the episode is focused on Donna figuring out that the reason she was bored is because she was basically wanted to be bored, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. Fun episode, fun times, great quotes. I feel like we went through that really slow and rabbit traily, but hopefully it was fun to listen to.
Yeah, it was pretty slow because I mean we've been talking longer than the episode's combined time is, so you know.
It is a long. I mean, it's a two-parter, but
yeah, and we like these, so I mean there's a lot to talk about. But yeah, our next episode is another great one, episode 33, The Day Independence Came.
Yeah. I was gonna say we're getting to a stretch that I'm really excited for here in terms of listening. So should be fun. We thank you all for listening. Follow us Facebook and Instagram wherever you get the podcast, and we will see you next time.
Yep. Bye.